In this video, we're going to talk about foxes, some of the most widespread and honestly clever animals on the planet. We're going to explore where they live, how they raise their families, and uncover some facts about them that are genuinely surprising. Okay, let's get started. So, when you think of a fox, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it that sly trickster from all the stories, a super dedicated parent, or, I don't know, something else entirely? The truth is, they're a really fascinating mix of all of these things. So let's start with the basics. Foxes are omnivorous mammals, and they're part of the Canidae family. That basically makes them cousins to our pet dogs and also to wolves. And of course, you know them by their most iconic features, that sharp pointed snout and that big bushy tail. One of their biggest superpowers is how incredibly adaptable they are. And that adaptability kind of brings up a big question. Just how widespread are they, really? Are there some rare sight, or are they pretty much our global neighbors? Well, the answer is they're pretty much everywhere. Seriously. From the freezing Arctic tundra to the middle of bustling cities and even scorching deserts, their ability to just survive and thrive in these wildly different places is absolutely amazing. Antarctica is literally the only place you won't bump into one. And their success is just staggering. We are not talking about small little groups here. Their populations are in the millions across multiple continents. We're talking Europe, North America, and especially Australia, where they were actually introduced and have just completely taken over. Okay, so now that we know who they are and where they live, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look at the life of an individual fox. What does their day-to-day, or maybe I should say night-to-night, actually look like? Well, they are true omnivores, and they are not picky eaters at all. They'll eat just about whatever is available. So in the summer, that might mean a ton of insects and berries. But come winter, they'll switch gears and focus more on small mammals like mice and rabbits. For a fox, absolutely nothing goes to waste. Now, out in the wild, their lives are often really short, but definitely eventful. The average fox only lives for about 1 to 3 years because, well, survival is tough out there. But get this, in safer environments, without predators, they can actually live for a decade or even longer. They have this very specific breeding cycle that happens just once a year, and it all kicks off right in the middle of winter. After about 53 days, the female, who's called a vixen, gives birth to a whole litter of kits down in an underground den. She'll stay with them while the male goes out and hunts for the entire family. Now, all this family talk brings up a pretty common question about their social lives. I mean, we usually see them hunting all by themselves, right? But does that mean they live their whole lives in solitude? Well, while some are solitary, a lot of them actually live in these small family groups that have a surprisingly complex social structure. Right at the top, you've got the alpha pair. They're the only ones who typically breed. Then, below them, you might have beta foxes, who are like helpers. They help take care of the young. This whole hierarchy goes all the way down to be omega, who's the lowest ranking member. It's this whole intricate system that helps the entire group survive. So, we know they have this complex family life, but what about other animals? How do they interact with other species out there? Let's take a look at a fox's friends and its foes. It turns out foxes have a pretty complicated set of relationships. Their main foes are what you'd expect: large predators like eagles and, of course, humans. But what's really wild is that friends call them. Researchers and just people watching wildlife have seen foxes form genuine, playful bonds with house cats, dogs, and even animals as different as deer. Alright, now let's wrap this up with some of the most fascinating facts that make foxes so unique. I mean, these are the little details that really set them apart. First up, they have this secret sensory tool that helps them navigate. Just like the whiskers on their face, they have whiskers on their legs too. They're super sensitive and help them move through thick bushes at night without making a single sound. Now, this next one is a skill you would probably not expect from a member of the dog family. The gray fox has these semi-retractable claws, which lets it just scramble right up a tree to get away from predators or to find some food. It is an incredible and super rare ability. They also share a really important feature with your average house cat. These vertical pupils aren't just for looks. They allow a fox to perfectly control how much light gets into their eyes, which gives them a huge advantage when they're hunting in the low light of dawn and dusk. Their senses are just unbelievably sharp, especially their hearing. It's so fine-tuned that they can actually hear the low-frequency sounds of little animals digging underground. It's even said that a wed fox can hear a watch ticking from 40 yards away. Just think about that. And finally, you know how wolves have packs? Well, a group of foxes has its own, much cooler name. They're called a skulk or a leash. So next time you happen to see a family of them, you'll know exactly what to call them. You are looking at a skulk of foxes. So, with their incredible senses, their complex social lives, and that amazing ability to thrive almost anywhere, the fox really proves to be one of the most resilient animals on the planet. They are absolute masters of adaptation, and are constantly surprising us with their intelligence. Which really just leaves one question. As our world keeps changing, what will these cunning survivors do next? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.